Life is unpredictable, and challenges often come when we least expect them. At times it feels like the world is spinning out of control, and no matter what we do, it's never enough. But what if I told you there's a way to remain calm, strong, and unshakable no matter what life throws at you? Imagine facing life's storms with unwavering confidence. That's the power of Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of time for centuries. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, mastered the art of inner peace, and their wisdom is just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. In a world that constantly tests your limits, Stoicism arms you with tools to rise above the chaos and live a life of purpose, clarity, and resilience. Whether you're dealing with stress, struggling in relationships, or searching for direction, adopting a Stoic mindset can completely transform how you approach life. Today, I'll be sharing powerful, practical Stoic strategies that will help you elevate your life step by step. Every strategy builds upon the last, so don't skip any part of this video. And if you find value in what we're doing here, a simple but meaningful favor: hit that subscribe button to support our journey. Now, let's dive into the Stoic practices that will strengthen your mind, fortify your soul, and guide you to inner peace. Lesson 1: make yourself a priority. In a fast-paced world filled with endless demands and responsibilities, many people forget to take care of themselves. We tend to prioritize others, our families, our jobs, our obligations, and often neglect our own well-being. Stoicism teaches that taking care of oneself is not only important but necessary. Making yourself a priority means that you tend to your physical, mental, and emotional needs so that you can face life's challenges from a place of strength. Start by creating time for self-care each day, whether that's through meditation, exercise, or quiet reflection. This is your time to recharge, to realign with your purpose, and to reinforce your Stoic mindset. When you make self-care a priority, you are building resilience. You are training your mind to stay centered, even in difficult times. This practice of centering yourself is essential for cultivating inner peace and avoiding burnout. Setting boundaries is another critical aspect of prioritizing yourself. Stoicism teaches that we must protect our energy and ensure that our time is spent on meaningful activities. Saying no to certain obligations that do not align with your goals or values is not selfish, it's a necessary act of self-preservation. Learning when to say no allows you to maintain your focus and avoid unnecessary stress, giving you the mental space to grow and thrive. Finally, making yourself a priority requires a shift in perspective. You must recognize that your well-being is not optional but essential for living a purposeful life. Taking time to nurture yourself builds the foundation for inner peace and strength, allowing you to face the world with confidence. By making yourself a priority, you are better equipped to support others, pursue your passions, and live in alignment with the Stoic ideal of inner tranquility. Lesson 2: embrace voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed in practicing voluntary discomfort as a way to build resilience. Life is filled with unexpected hardships, but by intentionally experiencing discomfort in small doses, you prepare yourself for larger challenges. This concept is rooted in the idea that suffering is often more manageable when you've trained your mind to withstand it. By embracing discomfort, you become mentally tough and emotionally strong. One way to practice this is through fasting or denying yourself certain luxuries. By choosing discomfort in a controlled environment, you gain perspective on what is truly necessary in life. For example, fasting teaches you that hunger is not unbearable, it's simply a temporary state that you can endure. This realization translates into other areas of life. When you face unforeseen difficulties, you are better equipped to handle them with calmness and clarity. Another aspect of voluntary discomfort is stepping outside of your comfort zone. Taking cold showers, challenging yourself physically, or even refraining from certain pleasures all serve to strengthen your willpower. When you regularly expose yourself to discomfort, you develop a mental toughness that allows you to remain calm in the face of real adversity. This is a powerful tool for achieving emotional resilience. The Stoics understood that by embracing discomfort, we train ourselves to be less attached to material comforts and more connected to our inner strength. The less dependent we are on external circumstances, the more unshakable we become. Voluntary discomfort is not about self-punishment, but about cultivating a mindset of preparedness, so when life throws challenges your way, you face them with stoic fortitude. Lesson 3. Practice negative visualization. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, is a stoic exercise where you imagine the worst possible outcomes in life to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for adversity. This practice may seem pessimistic, but it's actually a powerful tool for building resilience. By envisioning potential setbacks, you mentally prepare for life's inevitable difficulties, allowing you to respond with calmness and composure. When you practice negative visualization, you are less likely to be caught off guard by challenges. For instance, imagine losing something or someone important to you. Instead of fearing the possibility, negative visualization allows you to confront it head-on. You acknowledge that loss is a part of life, and that it will happen eventually. This acceptance helps you appreciate what you have while it lasts and strengthens your ability to cope when adversity strikes. Negative visualization also enhances gratitude. By imagining life without your comforts, loved ones, or current circumstances, you cultivate a deeper appreciation for them. You recognize that nothing is guaranteed, and this awareness makes you more mindful and present in your day-to-day life. Gratitude is a central Stoic virtue, and by regularly practicing negative visualization, you become more content and less anxious about the future. This practice doesn't mean you dwell on negativity, but rather that you prepare your mind for the realities of life. When difficulties arise, you're ready for them. You have already faced them in your mind, so they no longer hold the same power over you. Negative visualization is a powerful Stoic tool that strengthens your resilience, fosters gratitude, and brings you closer to the Stoic ideal of inner tranquility. Lesson 4. Detach from external validation. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we must not rely on external validation for our sense of worth. The opinions of others, while often loud and persuasive, should not dictate how we view ourselves. The Stoic path encourages us to find validation from within, based on our own principles, actions, and values. By detaching from external validation, we free ourselves from the constant need for approval and instead live in alignment with our true selves. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that it is not the actions of others that disturb us, but our judgments about those actions. When we seek approval from others, we place our happiness and self-worth in their hands. This leaves us vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. However, when we detach from external validation and focus on internal values, we gain control over our emotional state. Detaching from external validation doesn't mean ignoring others entirely. It means recognizing that their opinions are outside of your control. Stoicism teaches that we cannot change how others think, but we can control our reactions. By practicing this detachment, you free yourself from the weight of others' expectations and focus on living authentically. This leads to a sense of inner peace and confidence, knowing that your worth is not tied to the fleeting opinions of the world. Ultimately, the practice of detaching from external validation allows you to live more freely. You are no longer bound by the fear of judgment or the need for approval. Instead, you cultivate a life centered on your own values and principles, which leads to greater emotional stability and self-assurance. This detachment is a key component of Stoic wisdom and a path to true inner peace. Lesson 5. Focus on what you can control. One of the most central tenets of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. This principle, famously taught by Epictetus, reminds us that much of life is beyond our control. Our circumstances, the actions of others, and even many of the events that shape our lives. However, the Stoics also teach that while we cannot control external events, we have complete control over how we respond to them. By focusing only on what you can control, you free yourself from the frustration, anxiety, and stress that often come from trying to manage the unmanageable. This shift in mindset requires you to look inward and take responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Instead of trying to change others or external situations, you focus on controlling your own reactions, decisions, and mindset. This approach not only reduces stress but also empowers you. When you realize that you have control over your own mind, no external event can truly disturb your inner peace. Whether you are faced with a difficult situation at work, a challenging relationship, or an unexpected hardship, your response is always within your control. By focusing on this internal power, you can navigate life with greater calm and resilience. The Stoics believed that by focusing on what we can control, we also learn to let go of fear and worry about the future. Since we cannot predict or manage everything that will happen to us, there is no sense in wasting energy on fear. Instead, we should focus on the present moment, making the best decisions we can with the tools we have. This mindset creates a sense of freedom and inner tranquility, allowing us to live with greater purpose and clarity. Lesson 6. Cultivate gratitude for what you have. Gratitude is a fundamental Stoic practice, deeply tied to the idea of appreciating what we already have rather than constantly seeking more. In a world that often encourages endless striving for success, wealth, and status, the Stoic focus on gratitude helps ground us in the present and reminds us of the abundance we already possess. By practicing gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, leading to greater contentment and peace. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, frequently reminds himself to be grateful for each day, for the people around him, and for the simple things in life. This practice of gratitude is not about ignoring the hardships we face, but rather about recognizing that even in the midst of difficulty, there are always reasons to be thankful. Whether it's the love of a friend, the beauty of nature, or simply the ability to breathe and experience life, gratitude brings a sense of balance and perspective. Gratitude also has the power to shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance. When we constantly focus on what we don't have, we create a sense of lack and dissatisfaction. However, when we take the time to acknowledge and appreciate the good things in our lives, we feel more fulfilled. This sense of fulfillment creates a positive feedback loop, reinforcing a Stoic mindset of contentment and inner peace. Practicing gratitude doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as taking a few moments each morning to reflect on the things you are thankful for. This daily practice strengthens your ability to face challenges with a sense of calm and resilience, knowing that even in difficult times there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude, as the Stoics teach, is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating a life of inner peace and contentment. Lesson 7. Practice mindfulness and presence. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in the present moment, fully engaged with whatever task or situation is in front of you. This idea of mindfulness is key to Stoic philosophy, as it helps to prevent us from becoming overwhelmed by the past or anxious about the future. The only time we truly have control over is the present moment, and by staying mindful we can make the best possible choices and cultivate inner peace. Mindfulness, in a Stoic sense, means being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions in real time. It involves recognizing when your mind is drifting into regret about the past or worry about the future, and gently bringing your attention back to the present. The Stoics believed that when we are fully present, we are able to act with wisdom and clarity, free from the distractions of rumination and fear. One way to practice mindfulness is through simple breathing exercises or meditation. By focusing on your breath, you center yourself in the present moment and quiet the mental chatter that often clouds your judgment. This practice allows you to respond to life's challenges with calmness and reason, rather than being swept away by reactive emotions. When you are mindful, you have the power to control your responses and act in alignment with your Stoic values. Mindfulness also extends to the way you engage with others and the world around you. Being fully present with the people in your life, listening attentively, and appreciating the beauty of each moment helps to create a deeper connection with the world. This heightened awareness allows you to live with intention, making the most of each day and cultivating a sense of peace that comes from being fully engaged in the present. Lesson 8. Accept and embrace impermanence. The Stoics were deeply aware of the impermanence of life. They understood that everything, from our possessions to our relationships to our own existence, is temporary. This awareness of impermanence is not meant to create despair, but rather to encourage us to live fully and with purpose, knowing that each moment is fleeting. By accepting impermanence, we let go of attachment and live with greater clarity and peace. Epictetus taught that we should love the people and things in our lives while understanding that they will not last forever. This mindset helps us to appreciate what we have without becoming overly attached. When we cling too tightly to people, possessions, or outcomes, we create suffering for ourselves when they inevitably change or disappear. Instead, the Stoics advise us to enjoy life's blessings without becoming dependent on them. By embracing impermanence, we also learn to approach challenges and difficulties with a sense of detachment. When we recognize that all things are temporary, we understand that even our hardest moments will pass. This perspective helps to alleviate the fear and anxiety that often accompany hardship, allowing us to face difficulties with greater calm and resilience. Stoicism teaches that by accepting the impermanent nature of life, we become more adaptable and more at peace. Finally, embracing impermanence helps us to live more mindfully and intentionally. When we understand that our time is limited, we are more likely to make meaningful choices and to focus on what truly matters. This awareness brings a sense of urgency to live in alignment with our values, to cultivate inner peace, and to appreciate the present moment for the gift that it is. Lesson 9. Detach from the outcome. Another powerful Stoic principle is the practice of detaching from the outcome. The Stoics believe that while we should always strive to do our best in any given situation, we must accept that the final outcome is often beyond our control. By detaching from the result, we focus on the process and our effort, rather than becoming fixated on success or failure. This mindset frees us from the anxiety and stress that often come from chasing specific outcomes. When we focus too much on the end result, we often lose sight of the present moment and become consumed by worry or fear of failure. Stoicism teaches that the only thing we can truly control is our effort and our attitude. The outcome, whether it's achieving a goal or facing a setback, is influenced by many factors outside our control. By detaching from the outcome, we remain grounded in our values and maintain our inner peace. This principle is particularly useful in situations where the stakes are high. Whether you're pursuing a career goal, navigating a relationship, or facing a personal challenge, detaching from the outcome allows you to remain calm and focused on what you can control. You do your best, but you don't tie your happiness or self-worth to the result. This approach helps to reduce stress and creates a sense of freedom, knowing that your worth is not determined by external outcomes. Detaching from the outcome doesn't mean that you stop caring or trying. It simply means that you accept whatever happens with grace, knowing that you did your best. This mindset, central to Stoic philosophy, allows you to approach life's challenges with a sense of calm and resilience, trusting that no matter the result, you have the strength to move forward. Lesson 10. Accept suffering as part of life. The Stoics taught that suffering is an inevitable part of the human experience. Instead of avoiding or denying suffering, they believed in accepting it as a natural aspect of life. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation, but rather a recognition that pain, loss, and hardship are unavoidable. By accepting suffering, we are able to face it with courage and grace, rather than allowing it to overwhelm us. Suffering comes in many forms: emotional pain, physical discomfort, loss, and disappointment. The Stoics remind us that these experiences, while difficult, are opportunities for growth and learning. Suffering can teach us resilience, compassion, and wisdom if we are willing to face it with a Stoic mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoics encourage us to ask, "What can I learn from this?" By accepting suffering, we also develop a deeper sense of empathy for others. When we recognize that everyone experiences hardship in some form, we become more compassionate and understanding. This empathy strengthens our connections with others and allows us to support each other in times of difficulty. Stoicism teaches that suffering is not something to be feared, but something to be faced with dignity and strength. Finally, accepting suffering helps us to cultivate inner peace. When we resist or deny pain, we create more suffering for ourselves. By accepting it, we allow ourselves to move through it and ultimately emerge stronger. This acceptance is not about passivity, but about recognizing the realities of life and responding with courage, wisdom, and grace. Life will always present challenges, discomfort, and moments of suffering. But through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, you have the tools to rise above it all with resilience, clarity, and inner peace. By prioritizing yourself, embracing voluntary discomfort, practicing negative visualization, and detaching from the need for external validation, you can cultivate a calm and composed mind that remains steady even in the face of chaos. Remember, Stoicism isn't about denying life's difficulties, it's about confronting them with courage and wisdom. By focusing on what you can control, embracing impermanence, and detaching from outcomes, you free yourself from the anxieties that often cloud your mind. You are stronger, more grounded, and better prepared to face life's unpredictability. As you continue to practice these Stoic strategies, you'll find that peace and strength come not from avoiding life's storms, but from becoming the calm within them. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life that empowers you to be resilient, grateful, and unwavering in the face of adversity. If you found these teachings valuable, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join this journey of self-mastery and inner peace. Remember, the power to remain unshakable is within you. Keep practicing, and let Stoicism guide you to a life of purpose and tranquility.